Hello, hi. Get some autofocus here. I'm bringing you guys into real life here today, just in the midst of packing. This is what I'm trying to figure out what to take to Nigeria right now for a new documentary. I'm taking these, probably, the iron glass lenses. They just have such amazing bokeh. But why am I going to Nigeria? I'm giving away one of these and shooting a film there. We always do a giveaway for the FX6 or another camera. Giving away like 5 cameras now whenever we open the doors to the art of documentary. And maybe you're asking, how do I get one? You're in luck. Giving away one of these, the FX6. And of course, can't do a giveaway without giving the Helios.
Super Soviet bokeh.
We're opening the doors to the art of documentary. I'll be talking about how to get your documentary started today. That's what we're always talking about inside the AOD Academy. All of the contest rules are below, so you can go do that and enter in to win the FX6 package. Put it in a cool case. We're always doing this every time we open the doors. We love getting cameras to filmmakers like you, and I can't wait to get to Nigeria to get this one to Eric. But less talking. Let's get into today's video. So, you want to create a film. Where do you start? Well, I have plenty of videos on this channel about telling a good story and knowing if you have a good story. But what I want to talk about is once you've decided you want to make a film, what are the steps before you ever hit record that you need to be taking in order to make it the best film? We're learning this a ton right now. We have 2 feature documentaries in production. One about MMA and the families that are involved in that, and another that I can't talk about. I'm under NDA, so I'm wearing this hat. But it may be the biggest film I've ever worked on. And then also we have another short documentary that I'm shooting in Nigeria in 3 days. Shoot, I gotta start taking my diarrhea medicine.
What the f?
So we found that there's a few kind of systems, a few different mechanics that you need to be doing before you ever go to set. Let's talk about them. The number one thing I've been finding that helps my films before I get to set is consuming as many films as possible and then coming up with 3 key references for my film. You're making a film. You should be in that visual element. And why you want 3 references is if you just focus on one film too much, you end up kind of copying it frame by frame or making a worse version of it. But by having 3 references, you begin to see that there's different elements of the story. You say, I want to have the camera movements of Tree of Life. I want to have the locked off, no camera movements of a film like All That Breathes. And I want to have the direct to camera interview style of Tiger. There you go, there's 3 references. You're not going to be making the same films, but by getting as many films into your brain, for me at least, I found that it helps me to begin to solve problems. But you don't also have to just look at film references to find out the scenes and the ideas you want to shoot. For example, if I open up my Milanote here, we'll go to my untitled Nigeria documentary, come down here to inspo images. These are actually just iPhone photos I took of a coffee table book, and it was on my coffee table. But what was great is as I was flipping through this book about surfing in Africa, it began to inspire moments that I could begin to see in my film. This idea of BMX riders and motorbike riders and skateboarders and some other parts of the culture that I didn't know existed in Nigeria yet. So I was able to send these to Eric, the guy I'm working with, in Nigeria, and this is where you'll be able to begin to build your scenes. Point number 2, you need to study the world of your characters. When I made ASD band film, which you can go watch right now, I'll put the link down below, I delved deep into the world of autism before I ever started hitting record for that film, so that I understood it. But then I also kind of maybe go 80% of the way studying it because I don't want to feel like I'm an expert. I still like there to be some curiosity. With this MMA film we're working on, I know Mike has been consuming so many films about MMA, boxing films, all those sorts of styles, so that he can fully understand the world that his characters are in. Point number 3, get a cork board or some sticky notes and begin to build what you might think will be the progression of the scenes in your film, or any ideas that you have for it. And if you don't have a corkboard, get a Milanote, as you saw here. When it comes to a short documentary like this, I just have a couple scenes here that I've listed out. Nothing all that complicated. Seth is our main character, so I'm talking about him playing music, driving his car, working on his car, dinner with family. He just had a child. Some of these scenes we may not be able to film, but that's okay. I send this to the people who are over in that country, to the filmmaker I'm working with, Eric, and we begin to figure out what can we actually shoot. This is just a simple list of scenes. And then before you ever hit record, you need the key questions of the film. Every good film should be steeped in curiosity. If you're acting like you know everything or that you're going to be proving the point of something you're so sure of, I would say you're running the risk of making propaganda. You should be open to life and what will unfold. So I like to put questions here. How does culture and civilization advance rapidly, but with caution? This is something Steph was asking. How do we advance our civilization through technology, but not forget about the art and culture that's been so precious to us? Does it just exist in museums? Does it carry forth with us? Does the new mediums like laptops take away that art? So there's questions that I want to explore with the film so that every scene has a purpose, so that it's not just aimless B-roll. Get your corkboard, get your Milanote, get your project, and begin to build references. I'm casting a lot of shadows here. Let's go backwards hat.
Come on, chicken shit.
This is where I really actually love Milanote as well, because I can share this with my team. I can send invite links out to anyone so they can join this board, add to it, put the references. You have a second Nigeria board here that I can't put out that has all our hotels. It has all the links to our plane tickets. It's a place that we can all gather, add any information that we want, and then we can link to this more creative doc. This is where I exist, and I don't have to worry about all that other logistics stuff. It's been really simple for me and my team working on all our projects. You can come here and see we have a ton of stuff here. These are all the films that I'm working on. Another thing too that I love about Milanote is that I can access it on my phone anywhere I need to be to look at all the stuff on my films, do quick references while I'm on set. This has been handy when I need to reference shot lists or reference photos or share it with someone whom I'm working with. So I put a link down below for Milanote. You can check them out. Big fan of them. They've always been very supportive of all the work we're doing. I'm excited to have them on board helping get this Nigeria project out of the gate. Feel like I gotta lean my head back to get the best light.
Come on, chicken shit.
And just a little brief distraction. This is a spy cam. Look at that. This actually took film. Used to reload it like this. And then, yep. Listen to it. Well, while we're on this little distraction, a reminder to enter in to get this FX6. We're gonna be opening the doors to the Art of Documentary. That's our filmmaking academy. We have thousands of filmmakers from around the world in the art of documentary, from people who are now working for National Geographic and BBC, all the way down to first-time filmmakers who have never made a documentary. And that's what's so fun about AOD, is you get to connect with filmmakers at all stages, but they're like-minded, they're passionate, they wanna make films, and they support each other. That's one thing that people continuously say, is that they love the course content, but they're also obsessed with the community that they get in our Facebook group, our meetups. If you're part of AOD, if you get 3 or more people in your city to meet up, we buy your drinks, we send you a PayPal so you can hang out with other filmmakers. We love getting people connected, and we love seeing people get their films done. We have almost 300 videos now in the course. We're revamping all the courses, adding new content, because we've been learning so much in our career, and we're injecting that back into the course and getting many industry experts also to contribute their time. So don't miss this chance to join Art of Documentary. Number 4, before you ever get to set, you need to define your do's and don'ts. What kind of styles will you be doing? But then most importantly, what will you not be doing? Defining these restrictions helps you begin to edit your film before you ever begin shooting. Because if you're just trying to shoot everything and do it in any sort of style, whatever feels good that day or whatever seems to work in the moment, then you'll have a film that is nothing. It's like you've added every ingredient on the shelf to this dish. Nothing is worse than when you're on set and you're trying to collaborate with a director or cinematographer and you don't know what they actually want. Before we went to set on MMA, me and Mike came up with a do, which was you can move the camera, but don't move it unless the character is moving. So this is how we've defined our action. The camera is still if the person is still, but if they begin to move, then we can pan, then we can walk. We realized with a film like MMA, the camera's gonna be moving so much in the film that we wanted to actually give ourselves some restrictions so that we don't just move all the time and that the film becomes this just whole shaky mess at the end of the day. Holding those shots has helped us create a much more easier edit, and I know our editor Lewis has been appreciating that. Point number 5, Converse. Get with your team and talk at length about the film. Not necessarily about how you're going to be shooting it, but about the ideas, themes, scenes, questions, the thing you need to explore. This is where I really actually recommend getting a writer for a documentary, someone who's great at chewing through ideas and beginning to build them out in plot points and stories. We'll often record our conversations and I'll go back to them, hear things we are saying. These conversations are so crucial for the film. And I'll call up my editor, Lewis, when we're making Chase It From the South or Trails of Dust or any of these latest films we're working on, and we'll just talk about the ideas, because that is where you begin to almost pre-visualize the film or begin to start seeing the themes that need to come through. And this is where you're gonna begin to unlock some of those issues or new ideas that you didn't know could be part of the documentary. So there you go. Those are my tips. Thanks for watching this. Make sure to enter into our FX6 giveaway. You'll get on our mailing list too, where we're always giving away tons of documentary advice every week. We send out a tip, a trick, kind of like a little mini essay about various parts of filmmaking. We love equipping filmmakers like yourself, whether it's with gear, but mostly important with knowledge, because everyone can buy gear, but not everyone can be smart. Yeah, thanks again. Thank you. Appreciate you. What do you think of the new season of True Detective? Pretty creepy. I really got into this movie. Do you know what movie this is? Hint, it's an anime. All right, love you guys. Hey, goodbyes, but I love tech decks. Used to do them all the time.